Welcome to this webinar on collaboration for ML teams with weights and biases. A quick agenda. I'll do a quick intro, explain who I am, who weights and biases are, and then what weights and biases is in a nutshell. And then we'll talk about collaboration. So we'll talk about collaboration using weights and biases dashboards, and then we'll talk about collaboration using weights and biases reports. I'm going to do a little bit of a demo for both of those things. We'll see some dashboards and reports, how they work, how they're built. So I used to do research in biology and psychology, and then did my PhD on neural networks and machine learning. And when it came time for me to work in machine learning, the question that I asked, coming from my other fields of research, was what are the best practices for research in machine learning? How do people think about and organize their experiments? Just as an example, for things like studying the effects of drugs in humans in my research on MDMA, there were tons of protocols around how to manage human experimental data, how it should be stored, how it should be shared, and lots of really good practices and ideas around how that should be done, working in a large group, as you have to do when you're working in a scientific laboratory. So I wanted to find those best practices for research in machine learning. And when I asked around, what I found the answer was that it was the Wild West, and that there wasn't really a best practice. There weren't really good ideas about how to do things. If weights and biases is anything, I think of it as the sheriff in town of machine learning, come here to clean up the ne'er-do-wells in the saloon that is machine learning research. So the three sort of key value propositions of this system of record are reproducibility, visualization, and quick integration. So reproducibility is something that maybe a lot of systems of record might bring: data lineage and provenance, version control of your pipeline, being able to create a central registry of all your trained models. This is something that you might be able to achieve with a Git repository, maybe a well-designed spreadsheet. But the two things I think weights and biases specifically combines with this and finds lots of excellent synergies is in visualization and in making that process easy. So by visualization, some of the things we're going to really focus on today, like live dashboards that you can do quick experimentation and collaboration. This also allows you to sort of manage visibility into those ML projects across research team stakeholders, maybe a broader community that you want to share with. And all of this is done in a manner that allows very quick integration to existing code. Our systems are modular, they have a lightweight setup, they're designed to play nicely with other features you might use and never lock you in. We don't think of ourselves necessarily so much as a platform as a toolkit. And we built this user experience both in terms of visualization and in terms of the integration in partnership with leading research institutions. That modular toolkit basically comprises our dashboard tool and our reports tool for experiment tracking and collaboration and reproducibility, respectively. Those are the two things we're going to focus on the most here. It also includes a tool for hyperparameter optimization and organizing large sweeps of runs, and also for building that registry of models and data sets with the artifacts tool. So we won't focus as much on those today, but we're going to focus on the dashboard and reports, but they're part of this toolkit and they could be combined with it very easily. But those tools are then framework agnostic. You can come in and you can use PyTorch or TensorFlow. You can use a framework built on top of it like Keras. I'm a big fan of PyTorch Lightning these days. That's what I've been using a lot, and I've found it works super well, just as well as the things I was doing in Keras and weights and biases recently. And we also support lots of other frameworks, including LightGBM and XGBoost, and maybe things that are a little bit more built up, like Fast.ai and Hugging Face. You can use any of these things with these tools. We're also environment agnostic. You could be running your stuff, on premises. You could have your bare metal, and your laptop, or you could be scaled all the way up to Kubernetes controlled collections of containers on AWS and Azure and Google Cloud. So that's weights and biases in a nutshell from a really broad perspective. I want to drill down and talk about what the collaboration story is for teams working with weights and biases.